Hello, listener. The fact you hear this means you're alive. If you're new here, consider subscribing and comment below. Where you're listening from, you must subscribe because every single subscribe helps me donate $1 to those who sacrifice for our country. Let's begin the story. I should have kept driving. That's what I tell myself now, lying awake at 3 in the morning, replaying that night over and over. But exhaustion makes you stupid, makes you ignore the warning signs. It was 11:45 when I saw the neon sign flickering through the rain. Starlight Motel vacancy. I'd been driving for 16 hours straight, delivering furniture cross-country for a company that paid barely enough to cover gas. Highway 66 stretched endlessly ahead, and my eyes were burning. The motel appeared like a mirage, its red neon bleeding into the wet asphalt. I pulled into the parking lot. The building was shaped like an L single-story, probably built in the 50s and never updated. 12 rooms total. Only 3 cars in the lot, which seemed odd for a Friday night. But I was too tired to care. The office smelled like cigarettes and pine air freshener. An old man sat behind the desk, his skin pale as paper, watching a black and white television with no sound. He looked up when I entered. His eyes were cloudy, unfocused. "Need a room," I said. $35, he replied. His voice was dry, crackling. "Cash only." I handed him 2 20s. He gave me change and a key attached to a plastic tag. "Room 7. Checkout's at 10, he said. "Breakfast at 8 if you want it." "Thanks." He smiled. It wasn't a pleasant smile. "You alone?" The question caught me off guard. "Yeah." "Why?" "Just asking." He turned back to his television. I walked to room 7, key cold in my palm. The rain had intensified, hammering the roof. My room was at the far end of the L shape. I noticed something odd as I passed the other occupied rooms. Room 3, room 8, room 11. All had cars parked directly in front. All had lights on behind drawn curtains. And from each room, I could hear voices, conversations, multiple people talking. But I'd only seen 3 cars. The room was exactly what I expected. Floral bedspread, landscape painting bolted to the wall, television with a boxy remote, bathroom with a shower curtain that had seen better days. Everything smelled faintly of mold and disinfectant. I dropped my bag on the bed and headed to the bathroom. The fluorescent light flickered twice before staying on. I splashed cold water on my face, looked at myself in the mirror. I looked old. I was 31 but felt 50. Dark circles under my eyes. Stubble I hadn't bothered shaving. This job was killing me slowly. When I came back out, I heard it. Laughter from the room next to mine. Room 8. A man's voice, then a woman's. They were talking about something, their words muffled through the wall. I couldn't make out specifics, but the tone was intimate. Familiar. I remembered the parking lot. Room 8 had 1 car. Blue sedan. Maybe someone got dropped off, I thought. Maybe they were waiting for someone. I turned on the television, found a weather channel. Severe thunderstorm warning for the area. Great. I'd be stuck here until morning anyway. Might as well sleep. But sleep didn't come. The voices next door continued, sometimes laughing, sometimes quiet murmuring. After about 20 minutes, I heard footsteps. Heavy footsteps. Someone walking around a room. Then I heard something that made my skin crawl. A woman's voice clear as day through the wall. "I don't remember you being so tall." The man's response was too quiet to hear. "No, seriously," the woman continued. "Did you always have that scar?" My phone buzzed. A text from my ex-wife, Natasha. "Hope you're safe. Roads look bad." I didn't respond. We've been divorced for 2 years. She only texted when she felt guilty about something. I set my phone down and tried to ignore the voices. Tried to sleep. But around 1:15 in the morning, I heard a door open. Room 8. I went to my window and peeked through the curtain. 2 figures emerged. A man and a woman. They walked to the blue sedan, got in, and drove away. Nothing unusual about that. Except I swear I'd only heard 1 person check in. I finally fell asleep around 2 in the morning. When I woke up, pale sunlight filtered through the curtains. My phone said 7:35. The storm had passed. Everything outside looked clean and fresh. I showered, got dressed, and decided to grab the free breakfast the old man had mentioned. The office had a small dining area attached. Cheap coffee, stale muffins, packets of instant oatmeal. 2 people were already there. A middle-aged man with graying hair, sitting alone at a table, and a young woman, maybe 25, also alone. "Morning," I said to no one in particular. The man nodded. The woman smiled weakly. She looked exhausted. Scared, even. I poured myself coffee and sat down. The old man from the front desk shuffled in, wiping his hands on a stained towel. "Sleep okay?" he asked me. "Fine," I lied. He looked at the other 2 guests. "You folks checking out today?" The middle-aged man nodded. "Yeah." Soon as I finished this coffee, the young woman hesitated. "Ah, I think so." Good. The old man's cloudy eyes swept over us. "You'll want to leave before noon. Weather's supposed to turn again." He left us alone. The 3 of us sat in uncomfortable silence. Finally, the middle-aged man spoke. "Either of you notice anything weird about this place?" The woman's head snapped up. "Like what?" "Like," he lowered his voice, "like hearing voices from empty rooms." My coffee cup froze halfway to my lips. "You heard that too?" "Room 3, he said. His name was Marcus, he told us. He checked in around 10 last night. I was alone. Confirmed it with the desk guy. But around midnight, I started hearing someone else in my room. A voice talking to me. The young woman, Sophia, was shaking. Room 11. Same thing. Except the voice, it knew things. Things about me. Private things. I felt cold despite the warm coffee. What kind of things? My childhood. My sister who died. Details I've never told anyone. Sophia's eyes were wide. And then I saw it. In the mirror. Someone standing behind me. But when you turn around, Marcus asked, "Nobody there." We compared notes. All 3 of us had experienced something similar. Voices. Presences. The feeling of not being alone. Marcus suggested we talk to the old man, demand answers. Sophia wanted to leave immediately. I was somewhere in between. "Look," I said, "maybe there's a logical explanation. Carbon monoxide, gas leak, something making us hallucinate." Marcus shook his head. "I've been a contractor for 20 years. I know what gas smells like." This was something else. "Then what?" Sophia demanded. "Ghosts? You believe in that?" Nobody answered. Sophia stood up abruptly. "I'm leaving. Right now. You guys can do whatever you want." She headed toward the door. Marcus and I exchanged glances, then followed. Outside, the parking lot looked different in daylight. Less ominous. Just a rundown motel off a lonely highway. Sophia's car was a red compact. She fumbled with her keys, hands shaking. "Hey," Marcus said gently. "You okay to drive?" "I'm fine. I just need to get out of here." She got in her car, started the engine. We watched as she backed out of her parking space. But then something strange happened. She stopped, put the car in park, sat there for a long moment. Then the passenger door opened, and someone got in. Marcus grabbed my arm. "Do you see that?" I saw it. A figure. Translucent but visible. Sitting in Sophia's passenger seat. Sophia was talking to it. Animated. Like they were having a conversation. "What the hell?" I whispered. The car pulled away. Drove out of the parking lot and disappeared down Highway 66. Inside, we could clearly see 2 silhouettes. But Sophia had checked in alone. Marcus and I stood frozen. Finally, he spoke. "I want to talk to that old man. Right now." The office was empty. The television still played, volume off. The desk was unattended. Marcus rang the bell. Once, twice, 3 times. "Hello," he called out. "We need to talk to you." No response. I walked behind the desk, looked at the guest registry. It was an actual paper ledger, old-fashioned. I flipped through pages. Last night's entries were there. Room 3, Marcus Volkov. Room 7, me. Room 8, someone named Klaus Brenner. Room 11, Sophia Torres. But next to each name was a note. Handwritten. In red ink. Next to Marcus, departed with brother 9:05 a.m. Next to my name, nothing yet. Next to Klaus, departed with wife 1:30 a.m. Next to Sophia, departed with sister 7:53 a.m. My hands were shaking. Marcus. Look at this. He came around the desk. Read the entries. His face went pale. I don't have a brother. He died when I was 12. Klaus left with his wife at 1:30, I said. That was the couple I heard. In room 8, but he checked in alone. We heard footsteps. The old man emerged from a back room, carrying a box of supplies. He saw us behind his desk and stopped. Help you gentlemen. Marcus slammed his hand on the counter. What is this place? What did you do to Sophia? To Klaus. The old man set down his box slowly. I didn't do anything. The motel did. That's not an answer. It's the only answer I have. The old man sat down in his chair. People check in alone. They leave with someone. That's how it works. That's how it's always worked. That's impossible, I said. You saw the girl leave. Did she look unhappy? I thought about Sophia's face. She'd been talking to whoever was in her passenger seat. Smiling. Animated. Not scared anymore. No, I admit it. She looked relieved. They always do, the old man said. The motel gives them what they need. Someone they lost. Someone they miss. Marcus was breathing hard. You're saying it brings back dead people? I'm saying it brings back something. Whether it's really them or not. He shrugged. I stopped asking questions. We didn't believe him. Not really. But we also couldn't deny what we'd seen. Marcus paced the office, hands clenched into fists. I sat on a plastic chair trying to process. How long have you worked here? I asked the old man. 43 years. And this has been happening the whole time? Far as I know, it's been happening since the motel opened. 1952. I'm just the current caretaker. There were others before me. There'll be others after. Marcus stopped pacing. So what happens if we leave right now? Without whatever the motel wants us to have. The old man's cloudy eyes fixed on him. You can leave whenever you want. Nobody's keeping you here. But you'll wonder. For the rest of your life, you'll wonder what you missed. Who you could have seen again. I thought about Natasha, my ex-wife. We divorced because of my drinking, my inability to hold down a real job. She tried to help me. I pushed her away. I hadn't stopped loving her. I just stopped believing I deserved to be loved. Was that who I'd see if I stayed? Natasha? Or would it be someone else? I had a daughter, Marcus said quietly. Ingrid. She died in a car accident. 3 years ago. She was 16. The office fell silent. Is that who you want to see? The old man asked. Marcus's eyes were wet. I don't know. Maybe. Yes. God, yes. Then stay. Wait. She'll come. And if she doesn't, she will. The motel knows. I stood up. This is insane. We're talking about this like it's normal. Like it's okay. It's neither, the old man said. But it's real. You've seen it yourself. Marcus looked at me. I'm staying. Just for a little while. To see if you're making a mistake, I said. Maybe. But I have to know. I went back to my room. Marcus returned to his. We'd agreed to check in with each other in an hour. If nothing happened, we both leave. Together. But I knew he wouldn't leave. Not if there was a chance he could see his daughter again. I sat on my bed, staring at the television. Tried to think rationally. There had to be an explanation. Drugs in the water. Gas and air. Some kind of shared delusion. The motel couldn't actually be bringing back dead people. That violated every law of physics, every understanding of reality. Yet I'd seen Sophia's passenger. Clear as day. My phone rang. Natasha. I almost didn't answer. But something made me pick up. Hey, I said. Hey. Her voice was soft. Concerned. You never texted back. I was worried. I'm fine. Just tired. Where are you? Some motel off Highway 66. Starlight Motel. There was a long pause. Did you say Starlight Motel? Yeah. Why? My mother used to talk about that place. She and my father stayed there once. Back in the 70s. She said it was strange. That something happened there. My heart started beating faster. What happened? She never gave me details. Just said they checked in separately, checked out together. I always thought it was some romantic story. Like they'd had a fight and made up. Natasha, your father died before you were born. Right. Yes. Car accident. 6 months before I was born. And your mother stayed at this motel after he died? Another pause. Longer this time. Oh my God. Are you saying? I don't know what I'm saying. Get out of there, Natasha said urgently. Right now. Get in your car and leave. Why? Because my mother went to that motel alone. And she came back changed. Wrong somehow. Like she wasn't entirely herself anymore. I hung up with Natasha and immediately went to Marcus's room. Knocked hard. Marcus. Open up. No answer. I tried the door. Unlocked. I pushed it open. Marcus was sitting on his bed, facing the bathroom, talking to someone. I know he was saying, I know, sweetie. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. The bathroom door was open. I could see into the mirror. There was a girl's reflection. Young, blonde. She was smiling at Marcus. But when I looked directly at the bathroom, there was nobody there. Marcus, I said carefully. We need to leave. Now. He didn't turn around. She's here. Ingrid's here. She forgives me. That's not Ingrid. Yes, it is. Look at her. It's exactly her. I grabbed his shoulder. Listen to me. My ex-wife's mother came to this motel. After her husband died, she saw him here. And when she left, something was wrong with her. She wasn't the same. Marcus finally looked at me. His eyes were distant, glassy. She got to see him again. That's all that matters. At what cost? He turned back to the bathroom. To the reflection only he could see. Ingrid says you should go. She says this isn't for you. Because I haven't lost anyone. Because you're not ready to lose yourself. Those words hit me like ice water. What did you say? Marcus stood up, walked toward the bathroom, toward the empty space that held his daughter's reflection. Thank you, he said to me, for trying. But I'm staying. She's waiting for me. He stepped into the bathroom. The door closed. I heard the lock click. And then I heard two voices. Marcus and someone else. A young girl. They were laughing together. I tried the door. It wouldn't budge. Marcus opened the door. No response. Just laughter. Happy laughter. I ran back to the office. The old man was exactly where I'd left him, watching his silent television. He looked up when I burst in. Marcus is in his room with something, I said breathlessly. Something that looks like his dead daughter. You have to help him. Can't help someone who doesn't want helping. He's under some kind of spell. This place is doing something to him. The old man sighed. The motel offers a choice. He made his. You can make yours. What choice? I haven't lost anyone. Haven't you? I thought about my father. Stefan. He died of a heart attack when I was 19. We've been close. But I'd made peace with his death years ago. I didn't need to see him again. My father's been gone 13 years, I said. I'm okay with that. You sure? Was I? I thought about the fights we'd had. The things left unsaid. The fact that he died thinking I'd never amount to anything. Yes, I said firmly. I'm sure. Now let Marcus out of that room. He's not locked in. He can leave whenever he wants. Then why won't he? The old man leaned forward. Because leaving means saying goodbye again. And he's not ready for that. Maybe he never will be. I felt sick. So he'll just stay here? Forever? Some do. Most eventually leave. With their companion. They drive away and never look back. And then what happens to them? The old man shrugged. They live their lives. With someone who isn't quite real. But feels real enough. That's not living. That's delusion. Maybe. But is it any different from the lies we tell ourselves every day? The stories we create to make sense of loss? I didn't have an answer for that. My phone buzzed. Natasha again. Please tell me you left. I texted back, working on it. I tried Marcus's room again. This time the door was open. The room was empty. Bathroom empty. Closet empty. His car was gone from the parking lot. He'd left, with whoever was in his passenger seat. I felt hollow. I should have done more, said more. But what could I have said? He wanted to see his daughter. The motel had given him that. Now he was driving somewhere with something that looked like Ingrid. Something that knew her memories, her voice, her face. Was it cruel to call that wrong? I went back to my room, packed my bag, checked the time, 10:27 in the morning. I'd leave, drive straight through to the delivery destination. Forget this place ever existed. But as I loaded my bag into the car, I heard something. My father's voice. You're making good time. I froze, turned slowly. He was standing near the motel office. Stefan, my father, looking exactly as he had the day he died. Jeans and a flannel shirt, work boots. His face weathered but kind. This isn't real, I whispered. He smiled. Does it matter? Yes. Why? I'm here. We can talk. Catch up. I can tell you I'm proud of you. Tears stung my eyes. You were never proud of me. I was always proud of you. I just didn't know how to show it. He took a step closer. I'm sorry for all the times I made you feel like you weren't enough. You were always enough. I wanted to believe him. God, I wanted to believe him so badly. This is what the motel does, I said. It shows you what you want to see. And what's wrong with that? Everything. You're not real. I feel real. And I can make you feel better. Isn't that enough? I thought about Natasha's mother. Ching. Wrong. Living with something that wasn't quite her dead husband. I thought about Marcus driving away with something that wasn't quite his daughter. I thought about Sophia smiling at her dead sister. No, I said. It's not enough. My father's expression didn't change. You're sure about that? I'm sure. You'll regret this. You'll spend the rest of your life wondering what I would have said. What we could have talked about. He was right. I knew he was right. But I also knew that whatever was standing in front of me wasn't my father. It was a ghost. A memory. A trap dressed in familiar skin. I'd rather wonder than lie to myself, I said. Suit yourself. He started to fade. Not dramatically. Just less there. Less solid. But you'll be back. They always come back. I won't. We'll see. He disappeared completely. The parking lot was empty except for my car and one other vehicle. An old pickup truck that had probably been there for years. I got in my car, started the engine, put it in reverse, and then I heard the passenger door open. Someone got in. I looked over, heart hammering. It was Natasha, not my ex-wife, not the Natasha I divorced, but a younger version. The Natasha I'd married, before everything went wrong, before I ruined everything. Hey, she said softly. Where are we going? No, I said. No. Get out. What's wrong? You're not real. I'm as real as you want me to be. She reached for my hand. Her fingers were warm, solid. We can start over. Forget everything that happened. Just us, like it used to be. I jerked my hand away. Get out of my car. I still love you. I never stopped loving you. The real Natasha stopped loving me a long time ago. And she was right to. But I'm not her. I'm who she was. Who we were. Before everything broke. I closed my eyes. Took a deep breath. That's exactly the problem. You're a lie. Beautiful lie. But still a lie. When I opened my eyes, she was gone. The passenger seat was empty. I drove, fast, away from the Starlight Motel, away from Highway 66. My hand shook on the steering wheel. My chest felt tight. I'd said no. I'd actually said no. But God, it hurt. I called Natasha, the real one. She picked up immediately. Are you out? I'm out. Thank God. I could hear the relief in her voice. What happened? I told her everything. The voices, the reflections. Marcus, my father. The version of her that had gotten in my car. She was quiet for a long time. Finally, my mother's buried in St. Catharines Cemetery, about 40 miles from that motel. When she died, they found her car in the parking lot, engine running. She was in the driver's seat. A heart attack, they said, but there was someone in the passenger seat. Who? Nobody. The seat was empty, but she'd buckled the seatbelt, like someone was sitting there. I felt cold. How did I not know this story? I never told you. I never told anyone. It's not something you advertise. That your mother died in a car with an imaginary person, except it wasn't imaginary to her. No, I guess it wasn't. I drove in silence for a while, then asked the question I'd been afraid to ask. Do you think Marcus is okay? And Sophia? I don't know. Maybe they're happy. Maybe they got what they needed. Or maybe they're driving around with ghosts, slowly losing their minds. Maybe Natasha agreed. But at least they're not alone. I didn't know how to respond to that. 3 days later, I completed my delivery and drove home. Natasha had texted several times, checking in, making sure I was okay. We talked more in those 3 days than we had in the 2 years since our divorce. You want to get coffee? She asked in her latest message. I stared at the text. Coffee was how it always started. Coffee led to dinner. Dinner led to reconciliation. Reconciliation led to disappointment when I fell back into old patterns. But maybe this time would be different. Or maybe I was lying to myself. Just like Marcus and Sophia were lying to themselves. I texted back, sure. Tomorrow. She responded immediately, sounds good. That night, I dreamed about the motel. I was back in room 7. My father was there, and the younger version of Natasha. They were waiting for me. Patient. Eternal. You'll be back, my father said. When the loneliness gets too heavy. When you realize you're not strong enough to carry it alone. I woke up sweating. My phone showed 3:47 in the morning. I opened my laptop and searched for Starlight Motel, Highway 66. No results. Nothing. No website, no reviews, no mention anywhere online. I tried Strange Motel, Highway 66. Still nothing specific. Either the motel didn't exist in any official capacity, or it existed outside the usual channels. A place that couldn't be found unless you needed to find it. I thought about Marcus. About Sophia. About all the others who'd checked in alone and left in pairs. Were they happy? Or were they trapped in a walking nightmare, unable to let go of people who weren't really there? I wanted to believe they were happy, that the motel had given them peace. But I couldn't shake the memory of Natasha's mother. Dying alone in a car with an empty seat buckled beside her. That would be their fate. Eventually. Dying alone but believing they weren't. Talking to shadows. Touched by ghosts. Maybe that was enough for them. But it wasn't enough for me. I met Natasha at a coffee shop in town. She looked good. Healthy. Happy even. We made small talk for a while. Her new job. My continuing struggle to find stable work. The weather. Finally, she brought it up. You're different. Since the motel. Different how? I don't know. More present, I guess. Like you're actually here. I thought about that. She was right. I've been going through life half-present for years. Haunted by regrets. Trapped in the past. The motel had offered me a way to stay there permanently. And I'd said no. I saw my father, I told her. At the motel. A version of him. He said he was proud of me. Was it real? No. It was what I wanted to hear. What I'd always wanted to hear. And you walked away from it. I had to. Because if I'd stayed, I'd never have left. I'd have driven away with him. Talked to him forever. And slowly lost myself. Natasha reached across the table. Took my hand. I'm glad you left. Me too. We sat in silence for a moment. Then she said, I looked up that motel. After you told me about it. Couldn't find anything. But I found stories. From other people. Blog posts. forum threads, all about strange motels where people check in alone and leave with someone. It's not just Highway 66. It's everywhere. What do you mean? I mean, there are versions of that motel all over the country. Different names, different locations, but the same pattern. People check in alone. They leave in pairs, and they're never quite the same after. I felt my stomach drop. How many? Dozens. Maybe more. It's like there's a network. Places that exist to prey on grief. Or to ease it, I said quietly. Depending on how you look at it. That's not easing grief. That's enabling it. Making it permanent. She was right. But I understood the temptation. The pull. I felt it myself. Do you think they know? I asked. The people who leave with companions. Do they know what they're doing? I think they know. And they don't care. 6 months have passed since the Starlight Motel. I still think about it sometimes. About Marcus and Sophia. About all the others who found what they were looking for. I wonder if Marcus is still driving around with his daughter. If Sophia still talks to her sister. If they're happy or if they're slowly realizing their mistake. I'll never know. Natasha and I are trying again. Slowly. Carefully. We both know it might not work. We both know I might fall back into old patterns. But we're trying with the real versions of ourselves. Not ghosts. Not memories. Just two broken people trying to fix what they broke. It's harder this way. It would have been easier to get in that car with a young Natasha. To pretend we could go back to before everything went wrong. But I chose reality. I chose the hard truth over the beautiful lie. Some nights, I hear my father's voice, whispering that I made a mistake. That I could still go back. That the motel is waiting. And I know he's right. If I drove down Highway 66 looking for that flickering neon sign, I'd find it. The motel would be there. My father would be there. That younger version of Natasha would be there. All I'd have to do is check in, stay the night, wait for them to come. But I won't, because I know the truth now. The motel doesn't ease grief. It just makes you carry it forever. In the passenger seat, in the mirror, in every empty room. You check in alone. You leave in pairs. But you're still alone. You always were. And the thing sitting beside you, smiling and talking and remembering, it's just another ghost, wearing the face you need to see. I choose to be alone, truly alone, rather than surrounded by beautiful ghosts. That's the only way to move forward. The only way to live. But sometimes late at night, I still wonder, what if I'd stayed? What if I'd gotten in that car with my father? With that version of Natasha? Would I be happier? Or would I be another cautionary tale? Another person who checked in alone and left in pairs, slowly losing themselves to comfortable delusions? I guess I'll never know. And maybe that's for the best.